Hi guys, it's Aoife from Words of Clover and I'm here to start a new weekend reading vlog. So it is currently Friday the 29th of April. I think it's the 29th of April. Yes, the 29th of April. So this Friday, or this weekend, is a bank holiday weekend. So Monday's going to be bank holiday, so we're going to have it off. But on Tuesday, the 2nd of May, Idle by Louise O'Neill, which is one of my most anticipated books of the year, is coming out. Now, I was really lucky to get a early copy of this from NetGalley, so I have it on my Kindle to read, and I just haven't read it yet, which is just insane, seeing as it's about to come out. And I love Louise O'Neill. She's one of my favorite authors. I rave about her all the time. It's one of my most anticipated novels and I still haven't read it. But you know, when you're so excited for something, you just are afraid to read it almost. You're anticipating it so much, you just put it off until the last possible minute. It's kind of like procrastination on a whole other level in a way. That's kind of how I feel right now about this book. So I really need to read it. I would like to read it and have a review up for publishing date. So I'm going to kind of dedicate my weekend now to reading Idle by Louise O'Neill, letting you guys know what I think about it. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really easy one to read, to be honest. Louise O'Neill, her books are always really well written, they're pacey, they tend to be really absorbing, where you're just really sucked in. Yeah, thank you. Your sock. Thanks. So yeah, I don't think it's going to take me too long to read, though I definitely have a really nice long weekend to just relax and read. That's what I'm going to do. I did manage to start it last night and I got about 10% in. We are following Sam, who seems to be some sort of author, influencer, kind of wellness mogul in a way, and she's just come out with her new book which is all about chastity, and we're kind of learning that Samantha is a very complex character. You know, she's a lot of things going on, she's very, very flawed, she appears to be quite selfish in her own ways, kind of, you know, very much likes to blow her own trumpet, I guess, in a way, can be quite contradictory in what she says, what she does, and compares to her past actions maybe as well. And at the very start of this book, we learn that she has written an essay around a sexual experience she had when she was a teenager, and it was one of these really great sexual experiences in her life. It was with a woman, but she says that she is straight, but this experience she had, this queer experience she had with a friend, is kind of one of the best sexual experiences she'd ever had. And then she gets an email, her and her manager get this email from her old friend who says that's not what happened, that was a non-consensual experience on my behalf. And obviously that sends Sam's kind of world into a spin. She's kind of saying how can my friend be remembering this wrong? This was completely consensual. There seems to be a lot of history when it comes to her and her friend and her hometown, and there's a lot of things that she needs to confront. So at the moment where I am, she's kind of going back to her hometown to try and confront this friend, and it seems there's so much history between Sam, her friend Lisa, and then her Lisa's husband, also their friend growing up, and it seems Sam has a history with as well. So there's a lot of things going on. Sam herself seems to be very interesting, complex, flawed character to follow, which is very much in Louise O'Neill's style of writing, which I always really, really love. So yeah, I'm really interested to keep going with this, see what happens. And yeah, it definitely seems like Sam is this kind of Brene Brown type of figure, mixed up with almost Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop in a way, to another extreme, and yeah, she's definitely, I think, going to be someone really, really interesting to follow. It kind of feels like there could be a lot of different versions of the truth of the stories that she is remembering and the stories that she is telling. I don't right now, I'm not sure if she's really a reliable narrator to her own, even to her own story. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a really interesting book that kind of looks at, I think, cancel culture, maybe the fear of cancel culture among people, and with a following, as well as truth, memory, people's truth, everyone's truth being a little bit different, everyone's memories of the past being different, and how that all forms, I guess, into one, and how linear they can be in a way. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of this. So as I said, it is Friday morning. I'm just about to start work. Rossi is guarding the house, which is great. You know, she watches out while I work, and just is cute, which, you know, the most important job. So I probably won't get another chance to read properly until later on when I finish work, because I normally bring her for a walk on my lunch break. Maybe for my lunch break I might go up to a local cafe and grab a wrap or something, and then bring it home to eat. I don't know. I feel like, you know, it's Friday, bank holiday weekend, treat myself. I think it's going to be a good weekend, and with a really good book and with an amazing author who, you know, it's Louise O'Neill. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's just going to say how good it is, but it's going to be good. Hi guys, so it is now Friday evening and I am actually 37% into Idol, so I've managed to read a good bit. As I said, Louise O'Neill's writing is just, she's just so easy to read. She's just has a really nice pace to her books, and I feel like the stories are always just so, I don't know, they're just really nicely paced. They're so absorbable. They're just, you just want to read it really fast to keep knowing what's happening. Yeah, I've always enjoyed her books like that, and I've always read all of them really fast, and as I said, this one is no different. So yeah, 37% true. So yeah, we're following the character now. She has gone to her hometown. She has tried to confront, or like not even confront, just like talk to her old friend who has made the accusation against her, and we've seen how that has gone. That isn't going very well, and there's definitely like a lot of history between these two girls. We're kind of finding out a little bit more about kind of almost like flicks like here and there of like the past and their relationship when they were teenagers, and their relationships with other people, including a boyfriend who seems to maybe have been with the both of them at different times. So like they seem to, like, there is this little bit of conflict when it comes to this one male, and it's definitely something that has the main character Sam, this is something that has really affected her for like the rest of her life. Now that she's in her 40s, it's something that she still thinks about a lot, and like she can't really get over. And this boy now turned man, seems to be kind of always the one that got away in a way, it seems, with her. And yeah, it seems like she has a lot of issues around healthy sexual relationships and healthy relationships with men because of something that happened, because of whatever way he treated her, or whatever way the relationship she had with him ended. And this all ties up to her best friend as well, who's making this accusation against her. So yeah, there's a lot of history there. We're kind of only getting bits and pieces of it. It seems like there may have been an issue of control or coercion around their friendship as well. Maybe just they were very codependent on each other in a way that definitely seems unhealthy. So yeah, I'm really enjoying seeing how that is coming about. And right now it definitely seems like our main character Sam is like definitely more of the character that is steamrolling the other girl, Lisa, and she definitely seems weaker in a way and more frightened than the main character Sam, who we are following. So there's definitely a lot of ways in which Sam is acting. She's maybe not being as empathetic as she could be, or like as gentle as she should be when she's talking to her friend about what may or may not have happened, how her friend remembers things. She's a little bit too concerned about what her friend is going to say publicly, and not how her friend is feeling and what her friend actually remembers from that night way back when they were teenagers. So yeah, it's really interesting seeing it all kind of come together in a way, and the different ways in which like the character portrays herself, how she always needs to be really put together. Like there's a really interesting passage around how women like who are celebrities, how they only ever have one personality, and that personality is nice, because if they are like rude for like 1 minute to anybody, that goes down the story of someone met this person and they were like a cow or a bitch or whatever, and that would follow them around forever. So she always like has to be nice and pleasant to everyone, and she always has to put on this persona that is kind of like pretty fake. Like it's not really like, no one can be happy and nice all the time. So yeah, it's just fun seeing how all this is kind of coming about. And now where I am at the moment, it seems there's like a Reddit post that has gone viral now that is talking about this accusation of abuse, and we're seeing this kind of cancel culture now like come into play, people talking on Twitter, people like hashtags and things like that, and how this is affecting her now. It's not just a personal matter between her and her friend, it has now gone public, and people are talking about it, and they need to kind of clean up her act a little bit, try and save her reputation in a way, do a lot of fast action in trying to get things sorted. And then also for her company, which she has, which seems to be kind of like a health website, as I said, it seems like very Goop-like in a way. So like there's like things that like they have to think about how everything is going to affect that as well. So yeah, I'm really enjoying how that has all come about, and I'm kind of interested. I'm really interested just to keep reading, because I just feel like there's going to be a lot of like reveals, or like repressed memories are going to come back, and we're going to get like the truth in like all its glory, and it's probably going to be like really dirty and gritty, and maybe not like what anyone would want to remember. I just feel like there's something there that's going to come out, and it is hopefully going to be like really juicy, and it's going to make a lot like of sense about how, I think it's going to make a lot of sense of who the character is, who Sam's character is, and why she is the way she is and why she acts the way she acts. So yeah, I'm interested to find that out. So yeah, I'm just gonna go make some dinner now, and we'll probably be watching stuff for the evening. I don't know if I'll get any more read, probably a little bit before bed, and then tomorrow as well. So I definitely think I'll be like finishing this like pretty early. Like it definitely won't take me the whole weekend to read, so that's really fun. I'm always happy to steamroll through a book, especially if I'm really enjoying it. So I'll update you guys later on or tomorrow when I read a little bit more. It is Saturday early afternoon now, so I have been up for a few hours. Me and Rossi went on a lovely like long walk on the beach, which is really nice. So it's nice to get there like early before loads of other people are there, because then I can let her off. And see, she's just really friendly and she just loves everyone, so she like runs up to like every dog or every person, which isn't always ideal. So it's nice when there are not that many people on the beach, and then I can let her off and I can just give her a good run and let her run around. And yeah, it's just a little bit easier to just get that energy out of her, because she definitely needs that sometimes. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a rainy, dull day, which is so annoying. Like bank holiday weekend, it's been lovely all week while we were in work, and then of course as soon as we're off, the weather's crap. So it would have been lovely to be able to be outside today, do like some bits in the garden, do some I have like seedlings and stuff I want to plant outside, but yeah, that's not going to happen. I don't think it would be really nice to read outside for a while. But yeah, we're not quite there yet, and yeah, I really want it to be. I'm really looking forward to the summer now and being able to read outside, because I really miss it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, for an update for Idols, so I'm about 60% in, just a little bit over 60% in now, and still really enjoying it. It's just, again, just the story is just progressing a lot in terms of we're getting more and more about Sam and Lisa's relationship as a teenager, and we're seeing kind of the ups and downs there. As I said, it seemed like it was a very kind of intense relationship. They definitely were like, it was almost like borderline romantic in a way I guess like a lot of female teenage relationships are. Like, they are so intense and all-consuming, and I guess like when you're a teenager as well, like your hormones and your emotions are like an all-time high. So like I remember being a teenager as well, like the arguments you get into your friends and the situations you get into and the feelings you have always seem like so much bigger than like when you think about it. You're like, why were we so angry and so like dramatic about all of this stuff? I definitely think like all those things are really heightened, and we're definitely seeing that within Sam and Lisa's relationship, and it is definitely like borderline obsessive with each other, and not just like Sam obsessed with Lisa, but definitely Lisa obsessed with Sam as well. And we're seeing this kind of starting to repeat itself in a little way now as adults. Like, they're both 40 years old, and we're seeing how they're kind of falling into this relationship again where like they're almost codependent on each other, and it's not healthy. And yeah, it's bringing up a lot of things around like their time in high school and like old school friends. Lisa's husband, who was also at one point a boyfriend of Sam's, and yeah, we're just seeing all of that come into play. And then also obviously with everything that's been going on with Sam, this Reddit post around the abuse, which it seems that Lisa didn't write. So now they're saying like, who else would know about this? Why would someone else write this? Like, is there someone out there who's out to get Sam? She's also has like, there's a particular troll who like is commenting on everything that she writes on social media and is on other posts and is always kind of out to get her, and she doesn't know who this person is. It's anonymous, and she's kind of wondering who this person is. It seems like there might be an ex-boyfriend in her past who she had a bad relationship with in terms of possibly abusive, possibly controlling maybe, and like there's a real fear there with Sam that he's going to come back and find her. Previously kind of talked about her own like #MeToo experience where she was the victim of an assault. And now there's been kind of questions asked around this story that she told, like kind of facts, days, like the facts that she gave, the story that she gave. Some people are calling that into question and saying like, can you give us more information about this, because there's people who aren't able to like corroborate your story. They're not able to confirm these details that you said like happened when you were working in this place and with these people, these other people, like they can't remember any of this, and things are being called into question. So again, we as a reader are kind of being like, how reliable is Sam? Like, is she, like when she's talking about her own truth, is she actually making things up as she goes along? Or did she lie about this thing happening, or did she use maybe something that happened at another time but then bring it into almost like a fictional setting that never happened? So yeah, it's it definitely seems like there's a lot of ways that like Sam is like digging her own grave in a way. Like she keeps digging herself deeper into things, and she's not doing herself any favor sometimes with the way she is acting. And yeah, it definitely seems this person is just so lost in who they want to appear to be that like you're kind of like, does she even know herself in any way? And you know, this thing of like social media perfection and always like wanting to be perceived as a certain way. And yeah, Sam definitely suffers from that a lot. And there was an interesting passage where she was kind of talking about how there's like a subsection of people who just live completely on social media, and you know, they always know everything that's going on with social media around these type of stories where people are being brought down or there's rumors about people, and then you could go to somewhere else and you could talk to someone else and they would have no idea what you're talking about, because like they wouldn't pay attention to social media, or they wouldn't have any idea who these like influencers or moguls or, you know, like meditation people, wellness moguls, they would have no idea who any of these people were. So like things that are huge for like certain people and like it's like a really big story, you go somewhere else and it's like nothing ever happened. So yeah, it's just really interesting about how social media can be like really prevalent in some people's worlds and then in others it's not at all. That is it. So I'm gonna get on with my day. I'm gonna make some brunch, maybe watch a little bit of television. I've been watching Julie, the TV show about Julia Child, and I've been really enjoying that. It's a really nice one to watch on like a weekend with brunch or lunch or something like that. It's a really nice one to watch like when you're eating as well. Yeah, I might have to do my April wrap up because I don't think I'm going to get anything else read in April, so I might as well just do that today. I don't know, we'll see. Possibilities are endless. It is currently 12 now on Saturday, or I guess Sunday now, though I don't really say it's like the next day until I fall asleep and I wake up, you know. So had a lovely day, and I got kind of bits and pieces read during the day between everything else that we were doing, and I have just finished Idle. So it really only took me a day more or less, and like maybe like 3 solid sittings to read. But yeah, this is definitely a book you could easily read, I say, in 2 like chunky sittings, and I definitely flew through it. But I just wanted to very quickly come on to say that I'd finished it and the ending was really good, and I feel like I'm going to just be thinking about it all night and in the morning and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to come on and say that I had finished it and I really, really like it. I don't know what I'll rate it yet, but I'm going to update in the morning and kind of go through a little bit more about my feelings on the ending. But yeah, I just want to document, yeah, that I have finished it. And yeah, the ending was just, there was something it was kind of like witnessing a car crash, but also there were some elements of it that were also really, really satisfying. But I'll explain them more a little bit tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep now and think about the next book I read, because I am feeling quite tired now, but I'm satisfied with having read a really, really good book. Guys, so I am back and it is Sunday evening now. We had a pretty full morning. As you could see, I brought Rossi to it was kind of like a dog day up in a place nearby us, so I decided to bring her up to it. And she didn't like it. She really loved the off-lead area where she was able to play with loads of other dogs. She always loves that, but she was a little bit scared. I actually couldn't really spend too long there because I couldn't really actually go into any of like the stalls or near a lot of like the food vans or anything, because the noises and the colours and stuff were a little bit frightening to her, because she's still like quite young. She's only 10 months, so she's still, some of these things that she hasn't really like encountered before are still kind of scary for her. I'm hoping she'll like grow out of it a little bit and like eventually she will kind of calm down and take everything more in her stride, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet, but she did have fun in the off-lead area and like that was a win anyway, so she always enjoys play. So she's been tired all day now because of that, even though we were only there for about an hour. So yeah, and then I've just been relaxing all day, to be honest. I did a little bit of reading, did some watching of television, and now I have the night to myself. So tonight I'm going to be, yeah, ordering a pizza and treating myself a little bit, and then probably watching something nice on television, possibly Heartstoppers or something like that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But I just wanted to close off this vlog with my final thoughts on Idol. So as I said last night, it definitely ended with a bit of a bang, which I really enjoyed. Everything just built up to this crescendo. It was a little bit like watching a car crash as we edged closer and closer to Sam really being on the edge and really just eventually losing control and saying and doing things that were completely inappropriate. And it was really like almost like the icing on top of a very messy cake. Something that was definitely like coming for like the entirety of the novel. You're just waiting and waiting for Sam to completely snap, and really when she snaps, it like that was when I guess her true colours are really going to show, and it could go either way. Like she could, like, it could go either way in terms of her revealing herself to be quite a nasty person, or the complete opposite, being a very vulnerable like person who, you know, really just made a mistake. So yeah, it was kind of just like, it was really interesting reading that. I was really kind of gripped to it, as I said. Louise O'Neill always writes these really great gripping novels, and I think the way she played with image, kind of image, public image, what people kind of build up to believe about themselves and about other people as well, and in terms of truth and memory, how that all intertwines, and how memory is such like a really obviously it is a really personal thing for everyone, but how your memories can really just be warped by the things you do in your life, and like how like the things you say as well, and you can almost like make yourself believe things that like never happened, or make yourself believe things in a way that like they never really happened, and really twist the truth for yourself to the point where you don't know what's true and what's not anymore. And that definitely was all played along with in this, and we saw yeah, everything come out and a lot of secrets come out. And still there were a lot of things near the end where like it's definitely like because of how Sam remembered things, because she was slightly unreliable narrator. You're never 100% sure of like everything that happened, and this kind of picture she portrayed of her life, and how much of it was true and how much of it wasn't, and just like how twisted she had like kind of created this whole story about her life and her childhood and growing up. And you kind of really, I definitely like felt sorry for a lot of the people around her, like people who seemed a bit like, you know, not so nice at the start. By the end you're kind of saying, okay, like this person actually like deserves a lot more credit for what the reader was giving them at the start. So so yeah, and definitely the end, I'm obviously not going to say what happened at the end because that would be a big spoiler, but the ending was definitely, there was just like a very satisfying element to the end, and I think it just ended like really well. Louise O'Neill does tend to do kind of open endings to her books, it's kind of her style, and this one just, it's still like, even though everything wasn't like wrapped up completely, I still just had a really like nice satisfactory feeling when I was finishing this. And yeah, definitely ended on a really high note for me. I'd love to know if you guys have read this, if anyone else has read this, what were your thoughts, would you rate it? This was definitely like a 4, like a really strong 4.5 stars for me. It wasn't quite the 5 stars, but definitely this was a very strong 4.5 out of 5. I know, like, it could end up going to 5 stars. Sometimes you have to sit in these books as well to see how they affect you later on, see how long they sit with you and how much you think about them after you finish them. This could be one like that, so we will see how it goes. But yeah, definitely one of my top books of the year so far. Really enjoyed it. And Louise O'Neill, of course she didn't let me down. She would never let me down, because she is just a fantastic writer and I always love everything she writes. Definitely love to know what people think of it when they read it. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.